up ahead, or there's a wave that's going to knock me unconscious underwater. So it's either give up or keep going and forget about what just happened and just keep working towards the goal, like the daily goals and the end goal, you know, and then that's what transformed my life, and that's how I work things now, you know. So instead of bringing everything up from the past into the daily situation that happens, you know, I deal with what's going on now, and I still have shit days and deal with, like, people that you just don't want to. You know, I'm not saying I've turned into Dalai Lama and I just float around everywhere. Yeah. You know, I still feel angry, sad, happy, you know, laugh, everything, you know, but I allow myself to feel those emotions and I keep going forward, you know. I don't dwell on them. Once they're gone, they're gone. I don't bring shit up from the past anymore that attaches itself to me. I just deal with what's going on now and I'll keep on going forward, you know. I've got my goals set. And, you know, you either roll with me or get the fuck out of the way because I've got shit to do.
Hey, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Going back to the surfing thing and the water thing, right? I don't know whether it's my own personal love of the ocean and that feeling that once I'm out there behind the breakers, it just, you know, you get this, I have no problems out here. You know, even people, I heard someone in Israel say that where there's bombs going off on the Gaza Strip, there's a lot of kids that hang out at the beach, and they said there's never been a war on the beach here. So out here and in the water, it's just this great place, right? With all did you do the you know how you skateboarded down Route 66 in the US?
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that before?
That was after the paddle.
That was after the paddle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Paddle was the first challenge.
A real question, right? Do you think water-based things are better for people? Because I live in the Currumbin Valley in the mountains. I just don't get a kick out of the feeling. I think the more positive feeling is by the beach, and water-based things I get personally.
Look for sure. And it was funny because we were just talking about this today, and you know, it's because it's forever changing. You know, a wave comes in, you'll never see that wave again. You know, and I think that's what it is. And calmer, the more stormy it is, because there's so much activity going on out there that never stays the same. Like you might watch a tree blow in a wind, but for the most part, it'll just be that same tree blowing in the wind, you know. So your mind still will turn back into monkey mind instead of thinking subconsciously, there's a white cap over there, there's a wave going over there, or we could catch that, or there's a dolphin over there. There's, you know, it's very active out there, you know, without you thinking that it is. You know, there's so much that's going on that your mind's taking in that it simplifies everything for you and overrides all the stress and the worries that you've got in the world. And there's nothing more pure and natural than the ocean and water, you know. We're made up of water, so it makes sense that that's where we're the most calming, you know, and the sand beneath your feet and just sitting out in the ocean. It's just... There's
possibilities and treasures to be found.
Everything,
you know what I watched 2 weeks ago? I showed my little boy Castaway. Tom
Hanks.
Legend.
Man. It's just so good. Even though, you know, it's just a big Hollywood film. It's
everyone
wants that.
Yeah, like he's the endurance champion, mate.
When he finally gets the fire going.
Even as Forrest Gump, he was the endurance
champion. He was. He loves it, eh? Yeah, he just kept on running.
Have you ever grown a big beard?
Oh, not too big. It just they get too bit warm and itchy for me. Right. But I don't mind a little bit of growth. I think the girls like it too.
Rika, what do you think of big grey beards?
Oh, I don't like the big ones.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Why?
I like
Confucius.
I'm out of the game,
dude.
I like the 3-day growth to week growth, and that's...
I shaved this morning.
I'm a pathetic.
But wait, can I play devil's advocate again?
Go for it.
Okay, so you went to America to what was it? Skateboard down Route 66.
Yeah.
4 years ago, did you say?
No. June 2016.
2006, so 2 years ago. So your son was 15. Okay. Sorry if I annoy people because I'm a mom.
Yeah.
And Dad seemed to because my ex-husband also has gone and done whatever he wants to do. He's chasing his dreams. So who was looking after your son when you
His
were
mum.
off? Exactly. And
Yeah.
do you think mum can just go, damn it, you know what, I'm just going to go and do what I like to make a change for myself.
Why couldn't
and
she?
leave 15-year-old.
Why couldn't she? With me. I'd love that.
She'd okay. So we obviously have a different relationship because like me and my ex, we never had custody battles. It was like where the kids wanted to go was where the kids would stay. And it just so happened that I was the more stable parent, so the kids would stay with me. But they went and saw their dad whenever they wanted.
Yeah.
But Rika, like, do you honestly? I think that's men. Am I being sexist to say that men are like we're hunters? Like we, by nature, we want to do these ridiculous things that my wife's always going. It's a dangerous. But she doesn't want to do that. Never. She doesn't want to do that ever. Aren't there like a certain percentage of women who homemakers, like all they want is for the man to come home, please, because like I've made this beautiful home.
I don't know. I can't speak for all women. I just know that, like myself, I believe that children need two parents. I do. I believe that children need both parents. So there was, and even though my way of rearing a child is different to my ex-husband's way of rearing a child, like it's his prerogative because they're his children too. So whatever he does, if I can't see it, it's not going to bother me kind of thing. But at the end of the day, he is the one that goes off and does his own selfish thing and leaves me with most of the time with the children. So I do make a lot more sacrifices than he does. And that's why, when you said earlier...
It's probably sacrifices on both sides because I'm assuming you've got your child most of the time.
The children have always had the say. They have always chosen whether they want... And we have never... Like, we've always advocated that our marriage is broken, but our family isn't. So we've never had an argument over who's having the children. We've always spent Christmases,
that's
graduations,
good
birthdays.
way to be. That's a real good way to be.
Yeah, always.
Some other people aren't as lucky as that.
I know. I understand that. I totally understand that. But in saying that, even though I'm one of the lucky ones that's had a father that isn't nasty, and I'm not nasty to him, he is still the one will go off and say, oh, I'm going to go to Adelaide because my job requires it. I'm going to go to Japan because my job requires it. I'm going, and I'm the one that's stuck making sure that the children get to school, they get fed, they get clothes. You know what I mean? Yeah. So even when you said earlier, why can't you make that change? It's like, well, I can make that change and I can be totally selfish and do it for me. But then I'm pulling my son out of his last year of high school, which is probably the most important year for him.
For women. Is this okay?
Well, it's not for
my
women.
My wife
though.
thinks
it's
school. Do women think school is what? I feel sorry for my kids. Just went back to school 2 days ago. I feel so sorry for them.
I
like,
feel sorry
man, you're
for
trapped
them
into
too.
the system. Like, here's these great. We just had 2 weeks holidays. This is how it should be. Obviously, it can't work that way.
But unfortunately, the system.
I know, but I think the ladies love the system more than the men do.
We don't love the system. We just understand it and understand that if you fall out of the system, unless you're extremely talented in something else or something,
but because of the system, you lose your talent most of the time because you get stuck on a way that you have to do things a certain way and you have to read certain books and you got to go to certain classes and you think, well, when am I know in my head this does not feel right for me. I want to draw.
Yeah.
I want to play music.
Yeah.
I want to be Forrest Gump.
And you know what?
Oh, this is such a complicated topic, isn't it?
It really is, but
it is. Look, and there's no right and wrong to it at all, and everyone's different. You can't judge anyone else for how they're doing things. So for me, look, it's definitely been hard. Like, I haven't had my son in my life most of my life, it's been a real struggle. So, and that for me, that was part of the change of the pinnacle for me. It's like, right, I can keep on this loop. Or I can start changing and hope that my son sees what I'm doing to be proud of his dad, and have that transform back to him, like he's at is at an age now, 16, 17, 18-year-olds, where they just sort of are off
Yeah.
doing their own thing and who gives a shit and this and that. But at the same time, like me skating across America, because he skates and his mates skate, they're like, how cool is your dad doing this, you know? And it wasn't a selfish thing for me. Like, I was doing it for the cause and helping people along the way.
Yeah.
You know, so it was, for me, it's helping his future in me doing this. And now I won't do maybe too many more like long ones, but I've, you know, the retreat's 4 kilometres from his house now. He was here, he was at my place today.
Yeah.
You know, he's starting to get into training. I'm helping him with supplements and advice in that sort of way, you know. So it always comes back around, you know. Now, like, kids need their mums probably more than they need their dads until they get to a certain point, and it's like, and then, you know, you need your dad. Like, you need both people there.
You do need both.
You definitely need both,
Yeah.
you know, to learn those skills. And there's sometimes like, oh, look at him and go, wow, like I wish I had been there, but just under the circumstances, it hasn't been that way. So I've just got to make the best of it that I can now, you know, and not let that get me down too much as it used to go, right, all I can do is be the best person I can be and the best dad I can be to him, you know, best role model. You know, like I never had any role models or a father figure or anything like that. So, you know, that was a skill I need to learn because I didn't see anyone to do it, you know. So I sort of just fumbled my way through. Like, I think all parents do anyway. You don't get, here's your handbook.
That's right. And all
Fucking
children are
this is-
different.
oh, yes, and all
It's
children are different.
Hold
Like,
on
how
a
do you do with
second.
this, you
I
know?
never heard about this one before.
Yeah, that's it. I wipe the bum up, I wipe it down, I scrunch, I fold, you know, like, you know, what's the right or wrong? Everyone's fumbling their way through.
Oh, absolutely.
And what do every time on the weekend I looked at old, because I'm from Currumbin Valley.
Yeah,
I end up looking through
beautiful place,
all these photos, of the blokes that chopped down all the trees. Right. So what have men been doing for the last thousands of years? Like, I will almost guarantee that, you know, the old saying, the ladies have been in the caves, and these blokes have been doing these ridiculous things, dropping in every now and then. Like, it's only these last couple of 100 years that we're, you know, we should be living in the townhouse with the mum and the kid and the, you know what I'm saying? Like, like there's astronauts, for crying out loud. Like,
yeah, I know what you're saying.
It's sort of like a natural progression for the, and ladies do it too. Don't get me wrong, ladies. There's all the great ladies who work hard, but there's I think it's just in us, and I could think of nothing more than to teach my own little bloke to just go fight, and don't worry about her. Come on, just, you know, if you want to work late, if you want to do this, if you want to be an astronaut, she's always going to whinge. Like, I'm not don't mean to joke about that, but my dad is a great bloke. He talks to me every day, but he never did all sorts of things growing up because he was always working. But he's got a load of money, so I can't complain. You know, he's a great man. Yeah. You know,
isn't that weird? Like, I think, like,
imagine if
hold on,
hang on,
how old are you?
Imagine if your dad was just working at the IGA.
No, but wait.
That's the other thing. Coming home every night, but he.
That's a good job, though.
Yeah, but
There's nothing wrong with that.
I think everyone wants like a fighter. Like
but wait, how old are you? You're 45. How old are you?
42.
Shit, I'm old.
No, but I think we're.
What?
I'm going to pivot a little bit. We're from the same generation.
Yeah.
Right? But we're from totally different, like...
Okay, yep.
I think we are, because, well, obviously you said you didn't have a father figure growing up, so I'm assuming your dad wasn't in the picture.
No, never.
You had both your parents
there,
and I've had both my parents, but my mum was Japanese, so, you know, just fucking all over the place. Didn't know what was what, because, you know, two cultures coming together. It was quite weird back then in the 60s, 70s. But I think, like, I don't even know what I was trying to say now. We're all from different, like...
generations almost.
No.
Or a little sectional eras.
The same generation, but totally different backgrounds. Yet, we all seem to agree that, I don't know, like, a system or the system that has become in the last so many years, what you were saying,